Greetings to my dearest lecturer, Dr. Kuan Kheng. I am Nuraini Akilah. I will present to you the background of the study and the problem statement of this research. The background of the study is made to determine the level of awareness toward bankruptcy among youth in UiTM Sungai Petani. The study helped a lot of party in determine the problem among youth and get solution from the study. More than that, from this research also, it helps a lot in determining factors that lead to bankruptcy and also help to increase the awareness of bankruptcy among youth. Next is problem statement. The case of bankruptcy in the age of among youth is quite common. It is proved by the statistics of bankruptcy in Malaysia, where between 2015 to 2019, the trend of bankruptcy among youth age is quite worrying. Not only that, there is some explainable factors that contributed to the bankruptcy case among youth. The study conducted was to determine and to measure the level of awareness among youth that contributed to the factors of bankruptcy.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Amin bin Ahmad. Greeting to our lecturer, Dr. Kuan Kheng. Okay, for the research question, the first one is what is the level of awareness toward bankruptcy among students in UiTM Sungai Petani? The second one is there any relationship between financial literacy, financial attitude, and financial motivation with the level of awareness toward bankruptcy? Okay, next, research objective. The first one is to determine the level of awareness toward bankruptcy among students in UiTM Sungai Petani. And the second one is to investigate the relationship between financial literacy, financial attitude, and financial motivation with the level of awareness toward bankruptcy. Okay, now we move to the method of analysis. For this study, researchers used the correlation method in conducting the study. This method tested the first hypothesis made by the researcher in determining the relationship between the level of awareness and independent variables. Through this method, the first hypothesis was tested. Then, descriptive analysis also used in this study. For data analysis, researchers used the SPSS software 26.0 while conducting this research. Okay, summary of literature review. In this slide, it discusses on the previous research that relate to level awareness of bankruptcy risk. Based on the research literature, the current study was able to achieve research structure that will lead our research. This research investigate on the level awareness of bankruptcy risk among UiTM Sungai Petani students. The conceptual framework is a collection of interconnected objectives and fundamentals. The goals and purpose of financial reporting are identified by objective, and the basics are underlying concepts that help attain those goals. Based on the figure, it is assumed that financial literacy, financial attitude, and financial motivation as independent variable related to the level of awareness of bankruptcy among students in UiTM Sungai Petani as dependent variable. Throughout this chapter, the discussion of the literatures and the conceptual framework and relevant hypotheses that be developed to be used for the study by the researchers. Apart from that, the conceptual framework will be illustrated and significant hypotheses will be generated in order to measure the research objective and goals.
So I'm going to explain you about the research method. So the first thing is about the research design. This research is actually, we want to measure the level of awareness among youth. However, but the limitation, because of the COVID-19, we cannot go out to search our respondent. So everything must be conducted online. So because of that, we decide to conduct this research among students, which is represent our youth in UiTM Kedah Cawangan Sungai Petani. And for the sampling technique, we use snowball sampling technique because of every semester we are provided with class rep number phone. So we contact all the class rep and ask them to pass the questionnaire to their classmate. So it's easier for us to get the respondent to answer our questionnaire. For the sampling size, we are conducting this study among students in UiTM, Kheng and SUNGAI PETANI. So we are including diploma and degree student, which is the total population is 8,166, which is from official UiTM website, and the appropriate sample size that we need to collect is 367. For data collection, we have two parts, which is for the first part is demographic profile. In demographic profile, we can see about the respondent background. So the second part is about the 3 independent variable and 1 dependent variable, which is financial literacy, financial attitude, financial motivation for the independent variable, and level of awareness toward bankruptcy for dependent variable. For data analysis, we use a correlation method to determine the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. So we want to measure the significant relationship with whether it has relationship or it doesn't have relationship.
Hi and good morning. My name is Nur Shakira binti Syed Daud, and I will continue with the first stage of analysis. In this stage, we have conducted validity and reliability tests. For validity test, the KMO value is 0.821, which shows an excellent result as the value is more than 0.5. For the significant level for the pilot test is 0.01, which is below than 0.1. Therefore, it can be concluded that all the variables can be used in this analysis. Second analysis is reliability test. The variable of this study is financial literacy, financial attitude, financial motivation, and the level of awareness toward bankruptcy. The result of the Cronbach alpha for the financial literacy are 0.861, which it indicates a very good level of internal consistency. Therefore, the item used to measure the variable were considered reliable. Next, the result of the reliability test for financial attitude are 0.727, which indicates a good level of internal consistency. As the result, the item used to measure the variable is considered reliable. For financial motivation, the Cronbach alpha are 0.901, which indicates excellent level of internal consistency. As the result, the item used to measure the variable were considered reliable. The result for level of awareness toward bankruptcy are 0.812, which it indicates an excellent level of internal consistency. Thus, the item used to measure the variable were considered reliable. The second analysis is reliability test. The variable of this study is financial literacy, financial attitude, financial motivation, and the level of awareness toward bankruptcy. The result of the Cronbach alpha for the financial literacy are 0.861, which it indicates a very good level of internal consistency. Therefore, the item used to measure the variable were considered reliable. Next, the result of the reliability test for financial attitude are 0.727, which indicates a good level of internal consistency. As the result, the item used to measure the variable is considered reliable. For financial motivation, the Cronbach alpha are 0.901, which indicates excellent level of internal consistency. As the result, the item used to measure the variable were considered reliable. The result for level of awareness toward bankruptcy are 0.812, which it indicates an excellent level of internal consistency. Thus, the item used to measure the variable were considered reliable. The second stage of data analysis is about the profile of respondent description. In this stage, descriptive analysis was used to describe the characteristic of respondent based on their gender, age, study level, and faculty. So for the table shows the percentage based on 120 data that was collected. For gender, the highest of respondent is female with 75.8% compared to male 24.2%. Majority of the respondents are in 23 years old, which indicates the highest of 60% from the respondent. For study level, the highest which is studying in bachelor degree, which 84.2% compared to diploma 15.8%. Lastly, most of the respondents are studying in Faculty of Business Management with 57.5% compared to the other faculties in UiTM Kedah. For descriptive analysis, the standard deviation for the variable of financial attitude is 13.09% of the mean, which is the smallest variance among the other four variables. The standard deviation for financial literacy is 13.89% of the mean, which is considered as the substantial departure among the other variables in this study.
For the correlation analysis, there are 4 hypotheses that we measured. So all the variables that we test for the correlation analysis shows significant relationship, and we have to reject all the null hypothesis, which is the null hypothesis say that no significant about the variable among students. So the researcher accept the alternate hypothesis because all their variables show that there is significant relationship because of the value that come from the correlation analysis is all moderate positive value, which is there's significant relationship among variable toward students in UiTM.
The recommendation for the study is financial management subject introduced to the youth. Youth should be exposed to the financial management in their life, which we found that this can be applied to introducing the subject of financial management in school, college and university, which we believe that through this subject introduced, the awareness of the bankruptcy can be exposed and introduced to the youth. Okay, next is public policy that governance can apply to the youth, which governance must play its vital role in educating youth to the implementation of credit counseling and debt management AAPK agency, which the agency of government should act as a leader to ensure the conduct of the counseling are actively beheld. Then government also can introduce a stringent and rigid policy in terms of influence and trending methods that happen nowadays in the social media. In conclusion, the study that we conducted, that is level of awareness among youth toward bankruptcy, is a very satisfying study that relate to the today's world. This is because we found that from the study we can see differences that happen between our generation, that the significant changes can be found in the society, and it is interesting for us to study. This is why it is important to conduct the study to measure the level of awareness among youth toward bankruptcy.